Hi, my name is Mike Johnson. I'm taking you on an inside and outside video tour of this 2014 Mercedes-Benz motorhome. This is based on a Mercedes-Benz 3500 Sprinter chassis, and it's a Thor Siesta 24sr. What does all that mean? I'm going to go over that in the video. I'm going to try to keep the video as short as possible, but I'm also going to try to get into detail and explain about it. First of all, it's a 24-foot motorhome, so it actually fits in a parking space. You can fit it in just one parking space, and I'll include a picture right about now to show you with it parked in one parking space. Or you can take up more than one. And when you deploy the slide outs, so you have a rear slide out and a side slide out as well. When the slide outs are deployed, it gets a lot bigger, so when you open it up at the campground, you got a lot of room to run around inside. So, it's a very compact motorhome. You got to think about motorhomes like this, like the difference between a fancy laptop computer and an old clunky desktop computer. This is like the laptop compared with the big RVs. It has all the features of the big RVs in a much smaller, more compact footprint. So that means when you drive up to the national parks like Yellowstone or Yosemite or Sequoia or Kings Canyon, those kind of national parks, and you pull up and it says RV parking only, and there's a little Volkswagen parked in the middle of it, that won't bother you because this will fit in a regular parking space. I mean, some people might just buy this motorhome just because they want a vehicle with an onboard restroom so they can make longer trips, especially when you're getting older in the years. But it has all the features of a campground, so you can hit the beautiful spots. You can take it down to the beach. I'm going to show you a few features. First of all, it has a 32-inch outside HD TV. It's got a power main awning. So I just hit the button here by the door, and the power awning rolls right up, puts away. Electric awning makes it easy, and it's easy access. I don't have to go inside to roll up the awning. I don't have to get a stick or anything. Rolls up, and this one has a metal shroud around it which keeps the sun off it. See that? You've got an actual aluminum metal shroud around it. The biggest thing that wears out the awnings is when the sun beats down on them when they're put away, and you won't have that problem on this main awning, so you won't be worrying about a big expense for the first 10 years of the motorhome. That'll protect it. Just hit the button, it rolls right out, and it is height adjustable, but really adds up a lot of shade because this is actually a pretty large awning. I have other C-class motorhomes and 31 footers, and their awnings aren't as big as this one. This nice big awning. So the TV puts away and locks. You can lock the compartment, but when you're sitting in a campground, you can lock it. Let's talk about the storage. If you start looking at a lot of motorhomes, you might notice there's a huge difference from one to another on the type of storage that they give you. So this has these large cargo doors, huge, opens all the way up, and then you have room to load stuff up. And these are side hinged, so if for some reason you actually didn't latch it all the way, the wind from driving forward just blows it closed. It's nice. All the cargo doors are side hinged, so they all close automatically. And these are what they call rotomold compartments. And let me put my camera in a certain angle here. And there is a pass-through here. So if you had a long table or something, you could put the table in that pass-through compartment, or folding chairs. So you can bring a nice big table with you when you go to the campground. And that's very unusual for a C-class motorhome to have a full pass-through compartment like that, but this one does. It's a nice feature. I'm trying to put my... So right next to your cargo compartment, you have a power outlet right here, so you can plug in your George Foreman grill or audio video systems or stuff like that. You got extra storage compartments. I've had other motorhomes in this. You've got an onboard 3600 watt generator, rear cargo compartment right there, and you've got this mega compartment in the back here. So this is a huge cargo compartment. I have some boxes in here. It goes these big TV boxes and stuff. It's got a compartment light in it, so you can turn on the LED lights. It's LED, so even if you forgot and left it on, it uses very little power. And of course, this has a main power cutoff right there by the entry door. Let's talk about the towing package. So talking about the slide outs, this has two, which is rare on only a 24-foot motorhome. It has two slide outs, a rear bedroom slide out and a side living room slide out. And they use the Schwintek slide out mechanism, so these are very secure. There's very little intrusion of hardware into the inside. So these gear drive systems, there's 4 of them on each slide out. It is the same type of Schwintek mechanism they use for the big full wall slide outs. But this small slide out, it holds it completely solid in there. So very secure, so you don't get a lot of squeaks and rattles when you're driving down the road. And so if you'll notice, this one is very deep. It's deeper than my arm is long, so it really opens up the bedroom when the slide is open. Over here, of course, you have additional side hinged cargo compartments. And this RV does come with a hookup equipment, everything you need to head to the campground. You've got your power cord in here. You've got hookup hoses and everything like that. Even a window scrubber, so you can clean the windows. It's all included with the motorhome. And then you have the left side slide out for the living room slide out. It's a nice big slide out that brings the sofa out and opens up the inside. And if you notice, up on top of these slide outs, you have slide topper awnings. This is a really big deal. Not all motorhomes have those. And that's a big deal because if you go to a tree covered campground in the fall, it's called fall for a reason, all the leaves just fall out of the trees all at once, and you wouldn't want to get up there and sweep off the top of your slide out. So slide topper awnings are a big deal. When you put the slides in, the awning just unwinds, and anything that has fallen, you know, if a squirrel drops an acorn or something on top of there, it just falls off on the ground next to the motorhome. Or if it rains, the water runs off on the side and you don't have to worry about it. So slide topper awnings. Let's stick the camera up there and take a look at it. Right there. You got your slide topper awnings right there, and that keeps it nice. And this has a full fiberglass front cap. It covers the front. It's very aerodynamic. Let's talk about the gas mileage on this diesel engine. So let's go inside this 24sr floor plan and take a look. Got a nice table and sofa in the front. You've got a big main TV. You've got that outside TV. You've got a rear bedroom with a walk-around queen bed. Having a walk-around bed in a 24-foot motorhome is very, very nice, because see, I have enough room. I actually have more room to walk around the bed in here than I've had in larger motorhomes. I can get all the way around the bed, and if I need to, I can reach over and get in my storage cabinets, store stuff. On the side of the bed, there's power outlets, 110 volt power on both sides, and you got these nooks and crannies, the little nightstand areas next to your bed, so you can store your gadgets, your gizmos, your drinks, your glasses, whatever. And this is an actual queen size bed, a real queen size bed, not a mini queen. So the bedroom is 8 feet wide. So I had another similar motorhome, a Forest River Solera, based on the Mercedes Benz, with a rear facing bed like this, but this one is bigger, and the rear slide out is much larger. It's taller and it's wider. So you have a lot more room on the rear bedroom area. So when the slide moves out, it moves out. So we're going to talk about the slides in a minute. You know, you can lay in bed here, you can watch TV. And I need to talk about the TVs, but I'm going to get to that first. So first I'm going to talk about the kitchen and the restroom. This has a very large restroom. The restroom tucks out of the way here. It's a very trick way they do it. In the kitchen here, you have a Korean countertops. You have a very large, it's a single sink, but it's very large. You've got running water here, onboard water system. You've got a 2-burner cooktop, propane gas, and you can put your stuff on there. You can cook some eggs and make breakfast and cook your goodies. You've got a really nice microwave oven, and this is actually a convection microwave, which means it gets hot just like a toaster or hot just like a microwave. So this is a convection oven. It's really nice, simple, easy to use. Just push button and cook, bake, whatever you need to do. And because it doesn't have the propane oven, you have a lot more storage in the kitchen. Some motorhomes have the gas oven, which takes up this whole area. And I mean, there's reasons to have a gas oven, but you can also sit outside with a gas grill and grill outside. But you have these nice storage drawers and everything that you can use. And there's a lot of storage underneath the refrigerator. This RV is all about the storage. There's so much storage in this 24-footer. And the doors stay closed when you're driving around. They don't fly open. Look at the door hardware extends fully. You have a wardrobe cabinet right here, and you got your master video control center for your 3 TVs. I'm going to talk about the TVs in a minute. Before I talk about the TVs, got to get to the refrigerator. So this refrigerator works on gas, propane gas, or 110 volt, which means you don't need to have a generator running or anything. It uses very little power to keep the refrigerator going. This is an ideal motorhome. Even if you just wanted to use it to take trips from state to state, longer trips, and you want to have a restroom handy, so you've got a restroom right here. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into detail on the TVs and everything. So this restroom is trick, okay? You've got a nice wide aisle here, which you can easily pass through, but you just release the lever, and then the restroom expands, and you've got all this space here. Look at all the floor space. So you've got a porcelain toilet, a high quality, strong porcelain toilet. You've got a lot of storage over here. Easy access, easy to clean storage. You've got a medicine cabinet right here to store your goods. You've got a full height mirror. You can see head to toe. You got towel racks right here, and this really opens up. You've got a shower. The shower is easy to clean and simple. You do have a shower curtain, but it really opens up the room. So if you want to open this up, you have a lot more room to maneuver inside of here. And your sink is right here. This is onboard water. We're running hot and cold running water. If you want to turn on the shower, you just lift up on the hose, and that engages the shower. It's very simple. You may just want this motorhome to I went with 2 kids and me and my wife, and we took a 3,000-mile trip in this motorhome. So my boy, he's a high schooler. He stayed up here, and he had enough room to grumble around up there by himself. My daughter, who's in elementary, she stayed here on the couch. We didn't even have to turn it into a bed. Now this does pull all the way out into a bed. You could sleep 2 adults on it. It has an integrated air mattress, and it turns into a large bed. But if you want to do that, you can. Most people who would buy a 24-foot motorhome probably wouldn't be using this as a bed, but it is available. So this table goes in right here, or if nobody's sleeping up here, you can just flip this up, and then you have easy access. And now these chairs are turned around 180. Obviously, when you're driving, they point the other direction. They're mounted on swivels, so they swivel around, and you turn them around the other way. So if I release these chairs, they swivel around and lock in the forward position. So now we're ready to take a drive. They swivel around just like that, and you're ready to go. But if you need the seating capacity, you could seat 4 people here where the chairs are in reverse. That's no problem. They're pretty comfortable, and they recline. And then so this table can just be plugged into that instead. Ta-da! Like magic, now the table's over there. And then you have access to your sofa bed over here. It's very comfortable, 2-tone sofa. We can sit here and we can watch TV. Now I'm going to talk about the TVs. I'm going to explain these TVs. So obviously, with a TV in this location, when the slide comes in, not in this case, but on a lot of motorhomes, then you can't see the TV anymore. But not to worry, see, the TV is trick. Everything is trick about this. This is like the Swiss Army knife of motorhomes. The TV will swing all the way out. So even if the slide is in, you can still sit here and you can watch TV, or you can get to the cables even. There's storage right here to store all your DVDs or whatever you want to put in the storage. Headphones. When we were on our 3,000-mile trip, we brought along an Xbox video games console. And so my kids were sitting on the sofa here playing Xbox while we're driving down the road, which is very nice. And this is, you know, we're only plugged into power. This is over-the-air broadcast. So these are smart TVs. So I just hit left, and I have my channel list right there. So these are over-the-air broadcasts. This is not satellite. This is high definition over-the-air. So for example, we've got channel 2.1, 2.2, 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, etc. Going down. Right now I'm watching 9.1. We have the news going on, and all 3 TVs in this motorhome are similar. They'll get right here in my area over 150 channels over the air broadcast. It works really well. You've got Netflix built into this TV, so if you're on internet, you can connect to Netflix and start streaming movies straight to the TV, and then you don't even have to worry about DVDs. If you have DirecTV now, some of their plans will let you stream DirecTV over the internet for free through your phone, and some of the phones can transmit the screen to the big TV. That's all cool stuff that's available now. So this just slides out of the way, locks into place, and then the TV's secure. It's really cool. So there's a third TV. We're going to talk about that too. I talked about the sunroof. The third TV outside. When you're at the campground, you turn on the TV. You're getting the over-the-air same news broadcast. This is actually a brand new TV. Very little power. If it was plugged in at the home, it uses $6 a year, which is nothing of electricity. So very low power television. You can go out here and you can hook up your video game, Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, and have grandkids or kids sitting out here playing video games at the campground when you're not running around to the campsites. It's under your electric awning. Very nice. While we're talking about TVs, let's talk about the other 2 TVs. I mentioned in the bedroom that this is a 12-volt TV. That means that this TV uses the RV's house battery, the same battery that's powering the little 12-volt lights. You don't have to be plugged into anything for the lights to work. You don't have to have the generator running. This runs on battery power, so when you stop at that rest area, you turn on the TV, you watch the TV. You don't need a generator. You don't need anything else. And it's great picture, HD quality. We're watching the local news right now, so There's always something going on. You've got your windows. You know, we stayed at a campground in Malibu. It's on a cliff in Malibu. You know, you can back the motorhome right to the edge of the space, and then you have a panoramic view out your windows of the ocean. This is like prime real estate here. You take it to the nice places and spend the night, and you can really enjoy yourself. So one other thing I want to point out is the floor. There's no carpet in here. This is all like a tile faux flooring, so you can just bring a broom and sweep it out. I have a broom that I'm going to leave in the RV. You just grab the broom and you sweep out any dust that gets tracked in here. There is a carpet in the front, but that's like a floor mat, so you can take it out of the vehicle and shake it out and put it back in if it gets dirty. So I mentioned the sunroof. This has a power sunroof up in the front here. It's not as nice as what you would get if you bought an actual Mercedes car, because this is an aftermarket product, but it is a full power tilt sunroof, so I can open it. Need two hands to do it, to hit the switch and give it a little nudge. It'll unlock itself and it'll open up. And then when you have it open, there's a screen built into it that you can close so bugs don't come in. Or if you don't like the sun streaming in and shining on you, you can close for some nighttime shade. That works pretty good. I can't open it when I'm holding my camera. I need two hands to open it, but it is electric. So I did open the sunroof so you could see. It's open. I can stick my camera out and take a peek at the roof. See the bumps and bulges sticking out of the roof? There is a power switch right here. You can close it with one hand and it closes, and it engages a latching mechanism, and now it's secured. And then, like I said, you can close this off. I'm going to leave it open because I need the light for my filming. So up in the overhead, you know, like I showed you, it's very easy to put this up or down. It's gas assisted, so it's very quick and easy. There's enough room. You can sleep an adult and a child up here. Possibly two adults that were really cozy will fit up here, no problem. I probably should climb up there while I'm filming and show you. I can do that one-handed, actually. Can climb up here and use me to judge the size. So this is the size of the bed up above. I have some room up here, but it's a little tight for two adults. But if I wanted to stuff myself into the corner, I could, and there's hypothetically room for someone else. But I would say one adult and one kid would sleep up here, no problem. If you had two adults, you can pull out that bed over there. So I've opened up the hide-a-bed sofa so you can see what it looks like. It's an inflatable bed here. The sofa pulls out, and then you inflate this air mattress so you have a very smooth place to sleep. And then it folds up into a tiny compact space. It's a little bit more comfortable than your old school hide-a-bed sofa. And it's designed for the motorhome, so it fits two adults in this location. So you could actually sleep 6 people in this motorhome. 2 in the rear, 2 on the hide-a-bed, and 1 adult and 1 kid up in the overhead. So I wouldn't try to sleep 6 adults, but 6, including 1 smaller kid, should fit, no problem. Unless you're brave and you don't mind sleeping on the edge of a cliff, then you could probably put 2 adults up there as well. So just to show you, this is a power inflating air mattress for this bed. You don't have to blow it out by yourself. It's a power inflating. Almost done. And it power deflates too. So it's now inflated. And you want to let the air out, you switch it the other direction and it sucks the air out really quick. So in just a couple moments you can fold the bed away and it's all cleaned up at that point. It's sucking the air right out of it. No manual operation at all. So after just a moment or so, it's deflated, then the mattress is ready to be zippered up and put away. It turns back into a sofa. So I've zipped it up, I've partially folded it, and this folds up really simple. It just flips over, and then it's a sofa again. That easy. So as we take a look at the diesel engine, I get a lot of questions. How much gas mileage am I going to get with that motorhome? Okay, worst case scenario on this Mercedes, you'll probably get about 11 miles per gallon if you hard charge it on the freeway at 80 miles an hour maxed out. Around 11 miles per gallon is what I was getting with this one when I pushed it as fast as it, 80 miles an hour. But if I ease off, you can get closer to like 14 miles per gallon. If you take it easy, 65, 55 miles per hour. I noticed the front cap on this is very aerodynamic, a streamliner front cap. I had another Mercedes motorhome with a more boxy front end. Forest River Solera had a little bit more bunk space on the inside. But this made a huge improvement on my gas mileage. This streamliner front end is very fuel efficient. So I got between 11 and 14 miles per gallon when I was driving it. And that's what you should expect. And I was trying to make good time, so I did a lot of 80 mile an hour driving. Anyways, this is a Mercedes-Benz turbo diesel 3-liter engine. It's actually a 5-cylinder. The FedEx loves these things. They've been buying these Mercedes Sprinters for their FedEx trucks, if you've seen those around. They'll go hundreds of thousands of miles, and they're very nice. They're not glitzy, they're for work. They're a good work engine, but they're nice and quiet. We just take you on a test drive in a minute. It's a nice quiet engine, and you've got the turbo in the back. When you're driving 80 miles an hour on the freeway, it's a lot quieter than the Ford V10 gas engines, I'll tell you. You can enjoy the quiet. Because as far as diesel goes, for a front engine diesel, it's a very quiet vehicle. While we're talking about the diesel engine, I'd like to point out that this is the clean diesel. So this is uses ultra low sulfur diesel fuel. Your diesel, you add it right here. Easy to add fuel. It's right here by the driver's seat. You add diesel fuel right there. Low sulfur diesel fuel, and it has the blue efficiency. So this is the Blue Tech diesel, which is really cool. This is environmentally friendly. In fact, this motorhome has passed the California smog inspection for the emission control systems, and we took it down, we tested it, and it passed for California emissions. Which those older diesels, there's no way they could pass. This is a computer-controlled diesel engine. It keeps it nice and clean, and that's part of the reason why it's getting 14 miles per gallon. It's very fuel efficient compared with the bigger, heavier gasoline motorhomes. So let's go on a quick test drive of this 2014 Mercedes-Benz motorhome. The very powerful diesel engine. Buckle up my seatbelt here, and we're going to take a look as we test drive. First thing about test driving, it's very easy to drive. It has a backup camera displaying right here on the navigation screen. It does support navigation, but you have to plug the navigation module into the back, and then you'll have full touchscreen navigation with the latest updates. Okay, so It's an automatic transmission. It's in drive. And I'm going to talk about the driving benefits of this motorhome. Now, I personally drove this motorhome from Florida to California. And I went from the Tampa area. I went over, I checked out Miami Beach, and then I went up through Orlando, all the way up Atlanta, Georgia to Knoxville, Tennessee, through Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg is a must-see if you're ever over there, or at least it used to be. And then down to 40 over back to California, stopping by the Grand Canyon. So I've driven this over 3,000 miles on my little drive. It drove really well, didn't give me any trouble. It's very powerful. You'll find that these diesel, this is a turbocharged, intercooled turbocharged diesel motorhome. And this thing can keep up with the big rigs, no problem. It's got a lot of power to weight ratio, especially when we're talking about power. We're talking also about torque. Diesel engines have a lot of torque. That's like leverage to turn the tires. And so you can set the cruise control on this at 80 miles an hour, and it'll keep up. It'll go right up the hills, it'll go right down the hills, no problem. We don't have to slow down and go 40 miles an hour up the grades, which was nice. So this is easy to drive. So I'm going to get it into a position here, or I'm going to try to back up around the corner, make a sophisticated driving maneuver. Okay, right here we have a little turn. See that nobody's coming. I'm going to back up down this street here, so I'm going to watch my distance to the curb. I have nice mirrors on that side. I'm going to get right here next to the curb, and then I'm going to put it in reverse. It's in reverse. Now I'm carefully watching my mirror over there, watching my backup camera, putting my turn signal, watching my mirror over here, and I'm turning around the corner. It's easy to drive. This is much easier to do than in a 36-foot motorhome, or even a 31-foot motorhome like your typical Ford C-Class. And now I am behind the limit line in the intersection. Now I can make a left turn and go down. Simple, easy to drive. We're cruising along at 50 miles an hour, the speed limit right now. One of the advantages I found out about this motorhome when I drove it for that 3,000 miles is this has the really nice HID xenon headlights, and boy, those suckers are bright. You can drive down the darkest roads and it really lights them up. When I was driving this through the Florida Everglades at dusk, and I had no problem seeing if any critters would run out in front of me. The headlights work really good, and that's really nice. A lot of these Mercedes only have the regular halogen headlights, but this has the much brighter xenon headlights. So let's try to park this in a parking space. I'm going to back it into one of these parking spaces. Let's go for the one on the end. See if I can do it. So this is a nice parking lot that I'm familiar with. I've got my backup camera view so I can see what's going on behind me. And I can see I have a lot of clearance in the front. That's really one of the main advantages of this being a 24-foot motorhome. You can really back it into a tight space, a space where those larger motorhomes will never fit. Let me get right up against the space here, dead center, and we'll get out and we'll take a look, see how I did. Now I'm looking at the backup camera, I'm looking down, I'm judging my distance to the bushes. I'm gonna stick out a little bit. This is 24 feet, so it will stick out a little bit. But if this were a longer 31, there's no way you could fit in here. I'm gonna point something out. There's a bush behind me. If that bush wasn't there, you could back these rear wheels all the way to the curb. If as long as there's nothing behind you, you could back all the way out and fit it into a parking space. Like if I had chose over here, then that might be better. We'll try that. Parked in the parking space, I went ahead and picked this one where I could back my wheels all the way to the curb. So the back of the motorhome is hanging over the dirt, which should be fine. It has very good ground clearance. And we're all the way in a parking space. We're only taking one parking space. Maybe 1.25. But fit right in there. We're hanging over the bushes, but that's okay. If it was dry grass or something, you might not want to do that, but this is nice green grass and it's moist and damp, so it should be fine. Fit right in there. Again, you've got the HID xenon headlights. Boy, those are bright. You won't have any trouble driving this at night. So I'm going to take a look underneath this motorhome, and I'm going to try to show you under the chassis. Take a look at the tires, and I'm going to aim my camera up a little bit so you can look up underneath at about a 45-degree angle. And you got a lot of nice tread on the tires. There's not really any kind of leak underneath. It's not rusty or corroded. As I go underneath here, the exhaust is nice and shiny. Like I said, this has not been driven in snow conditions. Look how much tread on the tires. Go underneath the engine compartment. No leaks under here. Again, the tires are nice and thick tread on the tires. Look at the transmission. Let's get it right up there at the transmission. I try to give you a full tour of the RV as best as I can. I need to aim my camera down a little bit. You've seen all 6 road tires, but this also has a spare tire. Back here you have a full-size spare tire in case you get a flat somewhere. You can just put the spare tire on the back of the differential and the shock absorbers and so forth. Let's go back and look at the towing package again. That's your towing package label right there. A V5 towing package with the 7-pin connector. You can tow a vehicle or trailer behind. According to the hitch itself is rated for 5,000 pounds. Take a look at the motorhome. So we were wrapping up this Thor Siesta with the Mercedes-Benz diesel. Take a look at the rear cargo area. Make sure I showed you that. My name is Mike Johnson. Give me a call, 951-681-2101. That is a landline number, so you cannot text it. But you can call that and it will forward to my cell phone. If I'm not in my office, it'll forward to my cell phone. And I accept calls between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. The vehicle is available as of February 2018. This is a 2014. It's really clean and nice. A Thor Siesta 24sr based on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter motorhome chassis.